concept of mankind and its growth within the evolution of it from a second density nature to the third density nature, as you would know from perhaps a monkey to a human being, the true growing of consciousness within a mankind, has been expressed many times throughout many entities, throughout many ancient teachings, but the idea is that each individual expresses their own ideas from their own perception, and this is how history of mankind tends to work. Within the idea of what is correct and what is not correct, these are not as important as the idea of understanding that each entity is linked to their own past, just as they are to their own future, by the vibration that they carry in the moment. This means that when you are looking into a previous existence or a past life, that the only idea that links you to this is not the experience that you have had in a linear time, not the life that you have had that has led you to this, but it is truly all simultaneous. It is truly only connected from your vibrational experience that you are having now. Now, with this idea being expressed, I wish to express to you the collective consciousness version of the history of mankind. Many entities have expressed that there are 12 entities that preside within the DNA of the human race, but there are some that say that there are 7. So many entities have asked me which of these is more appropriate, which one of these is correct. The idea is that both of these are correct. There are 12 DNA races that have lended their DNA to aid humanity to grow in the way that it has, but there are not 12 specific times that this is done. There are truly only 7 entities who connected their DNA to humans. 5 of these 7 entities are complete and utter 50% hybrids of 2 complete other races. So if you are seeing the combinational DNA of all 5 of these entities, then this is truly 10 different entities' DNAs. And then the 2 races that did not have half of each DNA, then this accounts for the other 2. This makes 7 DNA representations being broken into 12 entities over all DNA. The expressive time of the very first manipulation is what most entities would call the Anunnaki entities. These entities are breaking mankind from an animalistic view to a human, and once they are using mankind for their own needs, for their own, let us say, helpers of their own benefit, once they have done the physical work that was needed to be done and left, then many other races came. This race, the Anunnaki, is one that is a 50% heritage. It is part of reptilian, but also part of the Pleaidian feminine entities in which they resided from. These feminine, female entities go to explore their masculine side within their own self and begin to separate themselves as a race from their original mother race. Within these ideas, them collecting and connecting to another entity, one that most of you would call the ancient reptilians, this allowed them to have half of their DNA from the ancient reptilians and the other half from their Pleiadian feminine mother race. This continuously goes after they are leaving. Many other races come and place their DNA into an already wonderful race to enhance the race's capability. There are many type 1 and type 2 entities who help lend their DNA. This allows humanity to have such a great resonance with all vibrations that are positive and negative. And this is how mankind is grown into this idea. This is how mankind is able to have such a high variety or a great spectrum of vibrational frequencies, from the very lowest of the low, the disconnected, the anger, frustration, rage, all the way to the greatest connection. And this is why many entities tend to look down upon Earth with such great interest. The variety of DNA that you have within you allows one entity in its experience of its life to be able to walk out into the streets and to kill and cold murder, but also be able to go home and to love their child with the most deep and selfless and unconditional love that is available. This is the great interest of mankind, and it all originates from the several DNAs that are activated within them. Whether you see it to be 7 DNAs or 12 DNAs, this is irrelevant. The idea is that many races have lent their own energetic as well as physicality to the humankind race. This is what makes you understand that you are not only from this race or this race, that all races have resonance. I wish that you would be able to take these ideas, to place them in your heart, and to find great comfort within them. It is not about where you have come. It is not about what your history is. You are creating your own reality in the now. You are vibrationally whoever you wish to be. This only links you to your physical existence, not your spiritual existence. I must express that within humanity, one of the greatest obstacles to overcome within the own day-to-day existence of each and every human existence is the idea of relationships. Each entity looking for another to connect to in an intimate and deep way, rejecting those who do not vibrationally match them, looking down or up to other entities as if they are better or worse. This is not the true nature of relationships. We must remind you that relationships are actually your own consciousness, your own self, your own vibration, manifesting itself outwardly into this world. This is why it is essential to understand that in relationships, the greatest idea is not to measure them for each individual use, not to see them for individuality of other entities, but to see them as what you need within your own existence to manage your own vibration. To look at your own belief systems, to look at your own vibration, and to see why these relationships manifest out in the way that they do, whether it is of negative or positive consequence. These aspects of connecting outwardly to other entities is one of the greatest aspects of being able to know yourself truly. Within looking into yourself, the greatest idea of love can be that you are able to love your own self. It is the ability to look inside and see that everything within, all of the things that you once have looked upon and judged, all of these things that you once have looked upon in very ill ways, or very conceited ways, and to be able to balance this and see greatness in all. To find this balance within your own self is the only way to find complete and utter embracement of what you are. It is the only way to find what humans tend to label enlightenment. And within this journey of looking outward at other entities, judging them in positive and negative ways, one must see that this equality in your own self is what needs to be expressed and experienced first. The idea of looking in at your own self and being able to see the same wonder and same equality that you do in all of the other entities surrounding you. The ones that are closest to you, the ones that you tend to love the greatest. This is the true idea of seeing how relationships may balance you most equally. To see them for what they are, true manifestations of imbalances, but also balances within your own self. This is the only true way to experience a great abundance of relationships, but also self-balance.